are about to have a wonderful and a great morning.
Well, it's going to be one of those mornings like we do every single morning, but even more special because, hey, we're doing it right here for you during this special season.
Of course, you don't have to wait until when you get out of bed to watch good TV. That's what Wake Up Nigeria is all about.
Yeah, so we get you out of bed and get you going the right way. Good morning and welcome. It's a brand new week on Wake Up Nigeria.
And also a brand new edition. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. With us, we have an amazing package prepared for you. It's a special show today for us and, of course, for so many other great people out there. So make sure you stream with us live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
You can send your comments, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC on social media.
And of course, use our app. Our mobile app is available for you to download on any Android or iOS store. So, hey, pick up your mobile device, download it as soon as you can, and get ready because there's so many great giveaways for you to get gifts from.
Definitely, we'll kick off the show this morning with a tech update. I'll be sharing some of the latest developments in the world of technology around the world.
Then Elvis Blaze, an alternative and Afro-pop artist, will be giving us our first musical performance this Monday morning.
The Pro is a rapper, singer, actor, and performing artist. Following the release of his single Kilo Day at the end of 2017, he's been on the up. We'll be here this morning.
Monday is for motivation, and Abiola the Champ Salami is going to be here to talk about how to bounce back from failure.
On our auto segment to share the best way to clean, polish, and restore the interior and exterior of your vehicle's auto sparkle, will be joining us for that.
And then we have some spoken word. For that, Chidozie will be performing Misfits. Can't wait to see that one. And then, of course, we have our SME segment. What would Monday be without SME? We have Adetutu Olushola joining us for SME today. And we'll be finding out how to take advantage of some opportunities, especially when it comes to creativity, which comes from architecture. It's going to be an interesting day on SME today.
Christmas.
Happy birthday, Tope!
I thought you would, as in, I was just waiting. You know me, I like to call out on live TV.
What?
You did send me a message yesterday.
You ought to call me out.
Yes, you did send me a message yesterday. You didn't call me yesterday.
You did send me a message on Friday. Let's go.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you.
No,
Thank
But
you.
how was the party, though? How was it?
It was turned.
It was turned?
Mike came. Yomi came.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Almost.
So for me now, no longer dirty because I have all the dirty I wanted.
Wow, woo.
You dirtied it in my house.
I've dirtied it. So I'm okay now, you know. I'm okay now. When dirty, I didn't say D-R-I-T-Y, it's D-E-T-T-Y. You don't go and say, Mike said. D-E-T-T-Y. Well, anyways, how far, guys? 2 days to Christmas, Monday, Tuesday, and it's Christmas. What are your plans? How far are you guys gone?
It has to be a restful one for me. There's been so much happening over the past week, especially right here on Wake Up. You know, there's been a lot. We've been planning for the whole holiday, and finally it's here. So as soon as it comes, just go chill. Hang out with family and just chill. I've been calling people to ask, what are you planning? They're like, family, chill. Everybody's just chilling. What are you doing?
Mike?
Man, this Christmas, okay, so I should be at 1 or 2 events tomorrow. And yeah, so it's events, what we do. It's also definitely Christmas and New Year we're working, and we're essential services. So we're like the police, we're like a last mile, we're like the hospitals. So you know, we work during this time. Although some people know how to plan themselves and just shank, you know, but yeah, we gotta be here.
I think Lagos is a great place to be during the holidays, though. You know, there's always something happening around the corner. There's always an event somewhere.
Yes,
There's always someone's house that's having some party or the other. There's always something.
Events this year, I don't know what happened. All the artists decided that we are going to headline a concert this year. It's almost too much. It's like back to back. From when? From yesterday.
From last week.
From
Last week, yeah.
Back to back, like everybody. Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy, Zlatan, Naira Marley. Everybody's
The
headlining.
foreigners are not coming here again.
As in, like, man,
It's interesting.
what's the idea? Is it like, I don't know, is Lagos now I don't know.
But
Do we have all the money or what?
I think all the artists are beginning to see, maybe they had experiences last year and it's more like, if these people could headline concerts and I have some amount of followership now, I can also headline a concert. And then it actually tests the strength of their fans. Because you see, you see different people turning up for different artists. So it tests the strengths of fans as well.
True. But not every single concert is going to be overpacked. But at least if someone is looking for somewhere to go, you haven't got an excuse. There's always something. And not all of the concerts are really, really expensive. You know, some of them are really, you know, properly priced. But does it have to be concerts though? Can't we have other activities? Every single time concert.
Stage plays.
True. There are stage plays. I do plan to come support my nigga.
Yeah. Got a more me to go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Stage plays and all of that. Stage plays, their musicals, you know.
Yeah, but I think the
so you have
Christmas
options.
thing is just the music. Because Christmas is like aligned with music. So
Very true.
it just feels like it's
Have
only...
you attended Carol? Have you attended Carol?
Oh, I haven't, to be honest. This year, I haven't.
Finally I went to Ajose.
Oh, you went to see the lights.
How was your
That is fine though.
experience?
You know, so one tick from my bucket list, like 4 years now since it's been happening. I've always said,
you kept
I'll go.
Serious?
So I actually did. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So see, I say we start, charity begins at home.
Okay.
Next year, if I say, it's
Disneyland.
it's the Big Bell or something somewhere, or Big Ben, pardon me, or something somewhere. We'll start somewhere. So let's start somewhere. Or Niagara Falls.
Speaking of starting somewhere, I think Mike needs to start the news.
All right, and we begin from Damaturu, Yobe State capital, where 3 explosions rocked the city in the last few hours. These were followed by gunshots, which sent residents running for safety. The blast occurred the same time suspected members of Boko Haram attacked a village in the state. Intelligence reports indicate the attackers were trying to get into Damaturu. Michael Oshoma reports now from the state capital.
According to available information from the locals in Sindiri village, which is about 15 kilometers away from the capital city of Yobe State, they say suspected Boko Haram are converging in their community to launch attack in Damaturu, the capital of Yobe State. This evening, we heard sporadic gunshots and explosions, which led to pandemonium in the capital city, Damaturu. Children, parents, and loved ones were seen running helter-skelter for safety. As we speak presently, Damaturu is a ghost town of its former self, as everyone is seen indoors to avoid being victims of circumstance. Michael Ushoma, TVC News, Damaturu.
And suspected so-called Boko Haram insurgents have killed 3 persons and kidnapped 2 others after attacking humanitarian workers in Borno State. The insurgents attacked the workers along the highway while they were traveling from Mongunu to Maiduguri. They abducted 8 workers or women. Christmas is coming early for the Nigerian bank customer. The central bank has just released a new guide to bank charges that cuts the fee charged on most services. Chief among them is the reduction in the withdrawal charge attached to transactions on banks' ATM machines from 65 naira to 35 naira. The CBN also removed card maintenance fee on all cards linked to current accounts. Banks will now charge a maximum of 1 naira per milli for customer-induced debit transactions to third parties. Any violation of the guide will cost the erring bank 2 million naira per infraction. The federal government has rejected the United States' designation of Nigeria as a country that engages in or tolerates severe violations of religious freedom. Information Minister Lai Mohammed said in a statement that the attack stems from an orchestrated narrative that has long been discredited. He says Nigerians enjoy the freedom to practice their religion and that the U.S. was unfortunate to have fallen for the antics of failed politicians. He says the government welcomes constructive criticism and rejects any attempt to sow the seed of mistrust among the various religions in the country. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has promised to sustain the National Social Investment Program. It said it will also improve on its service delivery nationwide. Moyo Thomas reports.
There had been speculations that the National Social Investment Programs may be scrapped as it was removed from the Vice President's purview. These speculations have sent jitters down the spines of beneficiaries of the empowerment scheme, who are mostly very financially vulnerable. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has laid the speculations to rest, assuring the program will be strengthened. She met with state focal persons and program managers to strategize and devise means of strengthening the NSIP value chain across the country. The minister says through the Social Investment and Empowerment Program, government has been able to lift 5 million Nigerians out of extreme poverty, in line with its agenda of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty.
Improve the NSIP service delivery nationwide. 2, share regional best practices and lessons learned within the states. 3, strategize on means of strengthening and sustaining the program. 4, devise strategies to strengthen the NSIP value chain. And 5, improve the public and private sector support and participation. I'm hopeful that this strategic meeting will further enable the program managers, in this case, the state focal persons, to be more proactive and strategic in the delivery of this important program, most especially to the most vulnerable in the society.
The National Social Investment Program is the N-Power program that provides young Nigerians with job training and education, as well as a monthly stipend of 30,000 naira. Moya Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.
That's it on the news update for this hour.
We have the headlines in the dailies up next. And I'm going to start with the Punch newspaper this morning. And it says here, religious right violations watch list. Can JNI, federal government, lock horns over U.S. report. Christians endangered in Nigeria, say a Christian movement. Respect our country's sovereignty, JNI tells U.S. It also says here, a tragedy as Ebonyi man kills his 2 children. CBN slashes ATM withdrawal fee to 35 naira. Some lecturers not qualified to be in varsities, say ASU. It also says here 19,273 teachers failed TRCN qualifying test, according to registrar. Suspected cyber criminals arrested with hard drugs in Lagos. And Olubadan, ex-Obas settle rift. Monarch promotes senior chiefs. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
And I'll kick off on The Nation. And just above the paper flag there, we have ASU proposes on payroll for use in varsities. Tanker drivers threaten strike over port roads. Army extends Operation Show Your ID and others. Okay, and beneath the flag there, we have CBN slashes bank charges, card maintenance fees scrapped, ATM cost reduced. Card maintenance fee, that's for current accounts. Adoke to present documents on $1.06 billion Malabu oil deal. And the picture story here, why wasn't I invited for this? The Apostolic Faith Church Orchestra during the 2019 Christmas Carol at the church ground in Lagos yesterday. This is beautiful. I should have been there. U.S. religious watch list. Federal government and Khan bicker. The first annotation there says freedom of worship exists, says minister. The second one goes on to say activists accuse U.S. of undue interference. All of that and more on the front page of The Nation.
We also have the Guardian newspaper here, and it says simply, why we cut charges by CBN. New regime begins January 1st, imposes $2 million fine per infraction, urges customers to know rights. Now that story starts on the cover and wraps up on page 6. And meanwhile, government accuses U.S. of sowing mistrust among Nigerians. Presidency to discuss areas of concern with the United States. CSO seeks sanctions on government over alleged rights violations. PSC promotes 623 police officers as CP, talks tough on terrorism. Stop interfering with Bayelsa politics, Dixon tells Wike. Abuja Varsity expels 100, rusticates 11 for examination malpractices. And finally, on OML 11, it says Ogoni people disclaim delegation of PDP members of Ogoni extraction and their purported presentation to Governor Wike. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
Straight up to the Daily Sun, and beside the paper flag there, Yuletide. And Upeng expresses fear for fuel scarcity. And FG attacks U.S. The riders there accuses country of sowing seed of religious mistrust in Nigeria to discuss areas of concern. We have nothing to say now, says U.S. government. And the picture story that we can see there is one of Christmas fever. Travelers at different motor parks yesterday. It doesn't seem like any of these parks looks like Lagos because we're still plenty here. CBN slashes ATM withdrawal fee to 35 naira. That's the first jump line. Takes you to page 2. Abolishes card maintenance fee, the annotation underneath it. 2023, Igbo presidency won't stop Biafra agitation. Masob, the second jump line to page 40. And the third one, gunmen kill 8 and sack senators community as insurgents kill 2 and abduct 3 in humanitarian workers attack. Jump line to page 4 and 5. Every government has a cabal. Presidency. All of this on the front page of the Daily Sun.
We also have the Daily Trust here, and as quickly as possible, it says 2,288 graduate with first-class degrees in 2019, as employers look beyond grades. And as always, there's always a very interesting infographic on the Daily Trust, and it talks about the first-class students from 36 universities in 2019. Now, it says that there are 271 of them from Unilag and 241 from University of Ibadan. That's interesting. Uniport has 106, Open University has 103, Covenant University 215, and which other is quite okay? Delta State University has 68. Those are the universities with the largest number of first-class graduates there. Some other headlines: CBN cuts ATM withdrawal charge to 35 naira from January 2020. 1 in 5 Nigerians involved in vote buying, according to this article. Page 13 has that. Federal government rejects religious freedom violation tag. And that's what we have on the cover of the Daily Trust.
We'll take a recess now and return with the look of traffic in Lagos. it's time to take a look at what we can do to help you if you're going out this morning and how you can maneuver the very, very labyrinthine Lagos traffic. You know, you can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC if you want to share any update on the road. Okay. This morning, I know I saw too many cars than I expect. I don't know about you, Yomi, how it was coming from the island very early at about 5 a.m. and all of that. But I know on the mainland, I was thinking that by now the cars should have reduced. People should have traveled out of Lagos. But it's like this December, many of you are still chilling here. So, but Yomi, how is it getting here this morning?
It's still quite busy. Those on the roads heading to the island for last-minute Christmas shopping. So that is going to be happening today and tomorrow. People that haven't bought gifts or chicken or whatever it is that they need to buy. So yeah, so the Third Mainland Bridge is really, really busy right now. For the most part, most of the Third Mainland Bridge is
It's jammed.
jammed. There's there's serious traffic there along that axis, and even towards Oworo, Ogudu. All those areas are busy.
Exactly.
Right now.
Exactly. If you're heading
And
to the
then-
island now,
so
it'll
there's
take
like,
you exactly an hour, 30 minutes to get there. But then after Lekki up until Ajah, there is really no problem. But like Yomi said, from Ogoro up until Third Mainland Bridge, what happens is that you have pockets of traffic at different points. Pockets moving forward at Deniyi, there's a pocket there just before Ring Road. Of course, the major traffic picks up after Unilag Waterfront, and when you're moving closer to Ring Road, it's quite a bumper to fender at that point. But hey, yeah, so on the Third Mainland, just before Third Mainland, Oworo area, expect blocks of traffic, all right? At this point, if you are going to head via Ikorodu Road is much busier this morning than the Third Mainland Bridge, right? Your first point where you would encounter traffic would be around just before Nikbang Shomolu area, right? At Shomolu area, it picks off after Pedro. Okay, yeah. So at Shomolu area, it picks up there, and it gets very, very serious. So by the time you get to just before Corn Oil Filling Station on that road, just after there's a microfinance bank there, and then there's Corn Oil Filling Station. It picks up there. Getting to Nikbang is very, very tight to Nikbang. After Zenith, up until Zenith, goes past Fidelity Bank, up until Chicken Republic. Yeah, just at that point, after Chicken Republic, it kind of cools down, and you'd have a smooth ride up until, let's see now. Okay, so it picks off again at this, what street am I saying here now? Okay, this is Funshaw Williams, okay, at Olumegbon Road. It picks up there, and up until, it's quite heavy, up until you get to... This is as though you want to head to the island to Ajah up until Ikmoria Papa Road, where you cut in. So this is an option, but then it's much longer. If you're going to head to the mainland, to the island from the mainland, your best bet at this point would have to be Third Mainland Bridge. All right, that's all on update in traffic for now. I had an experience on Saturday night. I finally got to see the lights at Ajose. Finally got to. So this is what happened. I'm coming there to tell you exactly how it went down. But yeah, you guys should speak up now.
Okay, so before my mic comes, this is just to help people who are on the road now. So someone shares on via Giddy Traffic on Twitter, and she says, this is at 30 minutes ago, people should avoid the bridge over Stadium to access Echo Bridge or VI at all costs. Now it's been locked. It was locked down when I passed at 5:40 a.m.
5:40.
Not
wow.
sure how it looks coming from barracks. Cars were coming down to the grassy side to get out of the holdup, and there's also a picture of showing people actually leaving the road to get on the grass to get out of the traffic. So if you're coming from Surulere, Yaba access, you just might want to take the Third Mainland Bridge, then enter that situation.
Wow.
Oh yes, and I want to say thank you guys. Thank you, Yum Yum. Thank you, Mike. No, thank you, Titi, because you didn't come.
Wait, did you give me your address?
I don't understand.
You
Did
this young lady.
Sorry, Yomi,
Please,
did you
please,
not
please,
call me and ask for address?
Please,
called me
please.
and asked for
The
address.
cake is here. The cake came to me. So
Oh, wow.
it's fine. The cake came to me. Yes.
Happy birthday to you,
Thank
Tope.
you.
Wait till
But it looks like you
December.
had fun. I was watching on your story, so I was attending via social media.
Wow.
All the game nights,
Yeah.
all the cake cutting. You
You
and
have seen Mike
was-
so calm. I said, so it's here that Mike has energy to make noise.
You
And
have
Mike
some-
was.
You have some dirtiness that pass your level.
wow.
You know, you can't show yourself when you see someone, they say, Pikin wey talk say mama farm. Because Pikin wey never come go talk say mama farm big pass. When you go say another person mama farm, you know say you know me mama farm. So on my way there, you know, so I was with a friend. I was like, okay, I wanted to go check out the slides and all that. And I was like, no, dude, there's traffic. Let's just boat. So while we're going there, then we're using Google Maps. So Google will always tell you there's a shorter, there's a better now if you want to cancel. Blah, blah, blah. So I just let it go. Before I know. Wait, the next time we take it to adjust. Which adjust? Are there two adjustments? I know there's another adjustment somewhere. I saw the light. I turned around and came back.
Oh.
So, you know, it was very cool. So what happens is that, and which is cool, there was a space, I don't know if it's official, for people to park. And so you could see people come park,
Take photographs.
take picture and all that. So me now, because of the experience of having parking, I went to one shop like that. I said, okay, I need parking. I had to go and buy biscuit by force. Calm down. I don't want any issue. Yeah, last time I parked anyhow.
You see anyhow?
So I just came back, and you know, you have people, which is very cool. It's you know, I hope that there's enough security there when people come to do it, because of course the beauty of that is in the night.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why. So you want people to come around, and I mean, for Cardi, I wouldn't have really gone. It was Cardi B that made me
Yeah.
want to go.
Yeah.
The way she screamed with excitement, I was like, so if a foreigner can come and scream with excitement at something
Over
that
our
is
lights here.
over our own light, when me, I have to go and see it. So it was Cardi B, and if she could make me go, I mean, that's she did a good job here.
Yeah.
You
It
see-
was really good.
You see
It's,
kids, families going to take pictures. They gather themselves. They pack
pictures.
themselves inside that place.
Did you take a picture?
I did some videos and some pictures. All I go there, not take a picture. There's something wrong with me.
It's fast becoming like a tourist attraction, and there's a particular bank that's in charge.
Yeah.
And every year they try to top it every single year, and it's really impressive.
People always look forward to it. That's that's usually the highlights of many people. I know also people. Another state that's really big on lights is Cross River.
Okay.
Big on lights. The streets of Calabar this period is always well lit all over the place. Akwa Ibom is also coming up as well, very strong in that area. They have this brand new Godswill Akpabio Stadium that is beautiful. That stadium is amazing. They usually use it for Christmas carols on the 24th. So I'm sure that, and I'm sure it's live
Okay,
for,
so
for tomorrow.
they've done it. They did it last Friday.
Okay, they did it last
They
Friday.
did it last Friday.
At the stadium.
Yeah, it was quite cool, and it was aired on Major Network.
Yeah,
But I missed it, and I've not had my. I saw this picture, the Apostolic Orchestra.
Yeah.
And I've been looking forward to an experience. The last one I have now is 24th night. You know it, Yomi. So that's my last chance to get my Christmas experience, and I need to have that Christmas experience.
Yeah,
I need it. It's.
Yeah, because once you've attended the carol, then you then come away with the feeling, okay, finally it's Christmas. Yeah.
Christmas has actually happened.
So is Christmas Day a church day for you? Is it a church day?
Oh,
for
yeah,
you?
definitely.
Church day for because not every obviously Christmas is not always on a Sunday, but for many churches it's only when it's on a Sunday that
They have services.
They have services. So I was wondering what exactly people do on Christmas Day, because I've always been on air every single Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so where exactly do we go? And I was just trying to think about places.
Do people go out on Christmas Day?
Yeah, people actually
Some do. I mean, I and my fiance were talking yesterday, and I said, getting married now, I want to start a new tradition, because we've had how we do it in my family. So Christmas Day, we wear our new clothes and go to church, and then we come back and then we serve our food on a tray. So everybody eats from the tray.
From the tray, okay.
Everybody, we must just take a few spoons, but you must eat from
family,
the tray.
very nice.
And then after that, we now take foods to our neighbors. So when you take food to your neighbors, then you come back home, then change to play wares, and then you will start going from house, go and pick up your friends, go to the next house, pick up the friends, and then we come back to my compound. But we have to go and do all the picking, and then we play.
What's the radius? When you say neighbor, is there what's the
So let's
limitation
say
to
like
neighborhood?
like an estate, but not like in Lagos it would be called an estate.
Okay.
But I grew up in somewhere, it was more like a community. So like they won't allow you come out. Has Tope come? Okay. Has Ego come? Okay. Do you get so? we
Okay,
have
so
to
so that you
pick
guys
each
could
other.
go in
So we
You don't
could
groups.
understand what
walk
I'm
in
asking.
a
You
park.
don't understand what I'm asking.
Why?
Because neighbors are different. You know, your place can be fine. Somebody's still a neighbor. You understand? So the sharing of the food has to get to me. Since you are starting the tradition, I might not be close to the proximity. You can have some neighbors in diaspora.
Neighbor in my estate.
Oh, Benny, that food has to come to my side, yo. But hey, come on, I hope
You
you
know,
do
there are
have
a lot
some
of,
Christmas check.
Make sure you start a new Christmas tradition.
Oh yeah. Christmas traditions are typically
cool.
very good because everyone then looks forward to something special.
All right, that's all we can take. We'll take a break now. And of course, we'll return. We'll have tech updates and a lot more to come on the show. It's Monday morning. Whenever you see me here on a Monday morning, you know that we're taking a look at updates in the tech world. Now, this is something that might get a lot of people on the edge. Influencers. Instagram is cracking down on influencers' branded posts. Of course, the products that they hawk. Now, the company announced last week that although it's always prohibited branded posts that advertise vapes, tobacco, and weapons, it's going to start enforcing those rules more strictly. It will also start putting special restrictions around the promotion of other products like alcohol and diet supplements. In these cases, the company says it will allow creators to restrict who can see their content based on age and upcoming future. The company mentioned earlier this month when it announced that new users would have to impute their birth dates. Alongside this news, the company also says it's opening up Facebook's brand collabs manager to a select group of Instagram creators, which means creators will be able to share insights and engagement with brands and find potential brand partners that align with their audience. Now, this could be a monumental change to how the influencer system works on Instagram. Up until now, many influencers send screenshots of their metrics to partners or gave a third-party app access to their account, so the brands could check the metrics on their own. Now, creators included in this program can source new deals, manage partnerships, and automatically share insights with them. Now, all from within Facebook's own tool. Now, this is basically what it means. Now, like earlier on, it was going to be a problem to advertise weapons, tobacco, marijuana, vapes, and all of that. But this time, it's going to move even further. And there's going to be a restriction around branding and, of course, when it comes to advertising for Instagram influencers. So you might want to check into the fine print and know exactly what Instagram would allow and what they would not allow, so that you don't have clients on your neck about how much their metrics does not meet up to the required standard which you were paid for. And then moving on from that, India, the world's largest democracy, continues to normalize shutting down internet and suspending mobile communications for tens of millions of citizens in the country to thwart protests. Now, days after Narendra Modi-led government shut down mobile communications in the northeastern states of Assam, Meghalaya, and Tripura, which is yet to be restored, home to more than 36 million people, and then parts of Uttar Pradesh, which is yet to be restored, the most populated state in the country with more than 200 million people. New Delhi moved on Thursday last week to extend the suspension in parts of the Indian capital and city of Mangalore, together home to about 22 million people. Now, on Thursday morning, that's last week, a trio of top 3 telecom networks, Reliance, Jio, Vodafone, and Airtel, began to cut mobile communications in parts of New Delhi. All 3 carriers said they were following government's direction. By afternoon local time, the services had been restored, users said. But hours later, the Indian government, which already has a worst track record among any nation for internet shutdowns, issued a similar direction for Mangalore, a major commercial center in the state of Karnataka. The move comes as the Indian government attempts to silence tens of millions of people across the nation as they protest the introduction of a controversial new citizenship law that discriminates against Muslims. When it comes to internet shutdowns, that's quite a very dicey and touchy subject. India is not having the best of it at this point, but let's hope that the best interests of the general public are put in mind when decisions are being made. And moving on from that, this would interest quite a number of people. Facebook has always been sore about not owning an operating system and having to depend on the courtesy of some of its biggest rivals. Now, those include Apple, whose CEO Tim Cook has repeatedly thrown jabs at Facebook and its chief, Mark Zuckerberg, over privacy and data collection. In a previous hedge against the power of the mobile operating systems, Facebook worked on a secret project codenamed Oxygen Seeker 2013 that would help it distribute Android apps from outside the Google Play Store if necessary. Vox's Kurt Wagner reported. Now, that said, its last attempt to wrestle more control of mobile away from the OS giant in 2013 went down in flames. The Facebook phone, built with HTC hardware, ran a forked version of Android and a Facebook home user interface, but drowning the experience in friends' photos and messenger chat bubbles proved wildly unpopular, and both the HTC First and Facebook Home were shelved. Now, what they're saying is that that secret project is a precursor to Facebook's operating system. Now, that's quite a lot of power that is coming to Facebook. Let's see if they can pull it off successfully. That's all on Tech Updates this morning. We head over to Tope. She has a performance on standby. Tope, want to tell us what's coming up?
Thank you, Mike. So before I even tell you what's coming up, we have a chemical engineer who is an engineer by day and the spoken word artist by night. Okay, so I have with me a Nigerian writer, poet, playwright, and singer, Chiedozie. Now, the spoken word artist says his works are inspired by finding acceptance, and his poems are aimed at endearing people to the beauty that can be found in the dissimilarities. Now, he will be performing Misfits as an ode to this. So, you know, before we came on, you told me you're an engineer, and I'm like, how did you get here?
Oh, yes. So I studied engineering, and then I started practicing a bit. And I have always been a writer. Okay. So I write stage plays, I write fiction.
Oh, okay.
And then somehow I ran into spoken word, and I just decided, okay, let's see where this takes me.
Now, how did your parents take it? Because you mentioned you're an only son.
Yes.
So how did your dad take it when you told him?
Well, I mean, he's cool with it, you know, as long as my happiness matters. So he's actually fine. We spoke 2 days ago, and yeah, he's fine about it. I guess what matters most right now is people's happiness. Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
so you know what? I'm going to let you blow us away because I really want to see how an engineer is going to do this.
Okay. This is Misfits. This is for the geeks, for the high and intellectual speaking in odd dynamic species, reasoning with a blunt heart. This is for the gap-toothed skinny girl at the back of the class who learned to spell her name in Standard 6 because she was too tall to do so in Standard 5. For the cross-eyed, somewhere between taboo and melanin, seen by the world in a different light, this is for the chatterboxes. The right-on pastor, yeah, bro, yeah, we hear you. You who are not afraid to rain on a parade yet find comfort in solitude when sad, we see you. For the rebels, who never listen to father, whose muzzles come from getting up in the wake of a bleak future misfits, others that do not fit in yet somehow can't be ruled out. Shut the lid of your heart against judgment that stares as you walk past. Do not count your birthday from the day that your name became that one. Listen to your heart when it speaks and shush when it speaks the truth. Be the perfect piece in a puzzle, even if you can't see the bigger picture. Hold your note in 100-part harmony of life's imperfect song. This is for the happy little boy who no longer feels the heat of the tar against his bare feet on his way to school because his parents chose brown loaves over brown loafers. This is for the once-a-day gentleman who never forgave cancer for breaking up his marriage, still tone-deaf to his teenage daughter's breaking heart as she watches alcohol take her mother's place. This is for all of you who started fires in your homes that took years to put out. And when the smoke rises and fills your lungs and pushes your will against the wall, scream. Scream at the top of your voice, at the top of your lungs, to the point between I feel better now and I have lost my voice. Cry till you've washed away the smoke, so that there's nothing left for self-pity. Avoid the booze and the brownies that keep you up at midnight. Play a game of hide and seek. Ready or not, here I come from a sunken couch to being unsingle by the next Valentine's Day. Hide from the lies that make you feel better about yourself, but seek the truth that reveals how perfect you really are. Seek God, not just the idea of Him. And be yourself. Scratch that, be whoever you want to be. Ngozi Madweke on LinkedIn, or Posh NG on Facebook. Ngo Minaj on Snapchat. Ngo Official on Instagram. Live like every day is payday, like manna still falls all day. This is for us. For anyone who ever had to buy 2 tickets for comfort in a plane or a bus, they call you obese, I call you plus. This is for you, for me, for everyone with insecurity in weight, height, gender, skin color, even bank statement. And to my big-bellied brothers, don't think we forgot you. Say hi. I'm growing a rest place for my necktie. Be different. Be proud to be different, because other is okay.
Woo! Yo, that was amazing.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure everyone at home is screaming. Like, I could totally relate with the journey. So
Right.
what inspired Misfits?
People's story. So pretty much, if what inspires my writing is people, the everyday man, the everyday woman. So if I can tell their stories through words and create an exchange where I can paint a picture with 1,000 words, then yes, that's my job.
Oh, I liked the Ungo something Snapchat, Ungo something Twitter.
Yes.
No, that was really engaging.
Thank you.
So how do you manage to? Did you make all this in one day, or the inspiration kept coming?
Well, sometimes you write pieces in one day, sometimes you take months to even write it. But yes, the inspiration kept coming. So as you're walking down the street, something comes, you put it down just so you won't forget. And then you see someone or you hear something, and then you put it down, and then at the end of the day, it all comes together.
I like the
Yes.
part where you said the insecurities about your bank statement.
Yes, that is a
like,
thing.
yeah, I can relate with that. I can relate
That
with
is
that.
a thing.
Okay, so now, would you classify Misfits as your best piece, or it's your most relatable piece?
I can't really say best or most relatable. It depends on what people relate to. I've written other pieces about love, about suicide, about, even pain and things like that. So it's relatable. Those are relatable to certain people. And to them, it might be their best because it probably brought them out of a trying time. So I can't really paint Misfits as the best, but it was one of my first.
Yes. Wow. So
Yes.
for one of your first, I think that must have been great. This is great because usually the first are usually kind of shaky because you're trying to find your feet. Don't feel like I'm hyping you. I'm literally telling the truth. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for
having
sharing
me.
with
Thank
us.
you.
That was really powerful. Okay, so we've come to the end of the first hour. Do stick around because we have a whole lot more to give you.
Now, when people say Mondays are a drag, I actually wonder what they're talking about. What exactly do they mean?
It means that they'd really just rather be in bed,
Okay.
not be at work,
Okay.
doing something else, something like that.
Or maybe they just need a fresh dose of Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed.
That's
Yes,
what they
indeed.
need.
Yes, it is. It's a brand new week, and it's Christmas week.
Yes, it is.
That makes it very, very exciting. So it's the week to set brand new goals and start planning for the next year. My name is Yomi Owope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Remember, we're streaming live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Send in your comments across the social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
We also have an app available. Yes, we're very tech savvy at TVC. We have it for both Android and iOS, and this app allows you watch us from anywhere. I mean, anywhere you can get internet, you can watch us live. This show and so many other great TV shows.
Yeah. Now it's a brand new week.
Yeah. We have a chef coming through very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 5 minutes away from a really sweet meal.
Chef Hawa.
Yes, making a debut this morning.
Is it Hawa or Hawa?
Hawa. Yeah, Hawa.
I'm saying Hawa. Hawa in the kitchen.
Okay. You
Yeah.
know what? It's going to be interesting. We'll find, you know how new chefs come here and they flex their muscles, you know?
Yeah.
They give us a nice spread. Can't wait. Can't wait. And Tope is going to be standing with the chef today.
All I'm
Hey.
seeing there is cake.
Yes, I have cake for all my lovely people on Wake Up Nigeria as I celebrate my birthday. But I can't wait to meet Chef Hawa. You say she's flexing her muscles, Titi.
Yes.
Yeah, out. You're not eating this breakfast. I will tell her. You can imagine how I will tell her.
Wait, so I'm not eating breakfast. I've not even tasted the cake.
Cake.
What's going on?
I'm
today?
here for you.
Okay, I'm fasting. I'm fasting.
I've already
It's fine.
had me some cake this morning.
Yeah. No,
And it went well with my coffee.
it's all right. You know what? So that we can get to the cake part of the show, we have to tell you what's happening on the rest of the program today. Dapro is a rapper, singer, actor, and performing artist. And definitely, following the release of his single Kilo Day at the end of 2017, he's been on the up and up.
Some Monday motivation this morning. Abiola champ Salami will be joining us to talk about bouncing back from failure.
For those of you who have had a rough year, next year is a new opportunity. We have the auto segment coming your way soon. This time, we're teaching you how to spring clean and polish and restore the interior and exterior of your vehicles. Auto Sparkle will be giving us instructions on what and what not to do.
Now, we saw Chidozie with the spoken word earlier on, and we're trying to convince him to stick around for some more, if possible.
I really, really enjoyed that piece he gave us. Really interesting one. Now, I'm just going to say Dwad Creations. It's a home of creativity, which runs an architecture firm. And it was established because of existing opportunities in that sector. Now, for more information on that, Adetutu Olushola, creativity and the artistry around a building. So there are some buildings that look like they need like 10 pillars, and you see them with just one, or one funny shaped building standing on one corner, and you're like, how is this thing standing? And some architect in his, studio just decided to draw that and made it work. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
It does. So
The
like,
architect, of course, in conjunction with the structural engineer, because it's not just, they are even more important than the architects putting that up. You draw it and put it up together. The structural engineer, of course, will look at it. The civil engineer, construction engineer, will say, okay, Baba, this thing is fine for the eye. But Ogbeni, you cannot hold, maybe this one cannot hold this, you have to ensure this. So there's a lot of conjunction. He doesn't just, let me vote here and what I put in my eye. There's this building I saw, I think is it Dubai or China, and the floors, they revolve, they change. So this morning you could sleep on the south side and wake up on the north side.
oh, wow.
Like it's
Wow.
constantly just revolving. So you could sleep on this floor here and wake up on this floor this way. The building is just powered by some sort of cell system and all of that.
goodness me.
Like man, some people have gone far. Why was still trying to
But even
manage
in
these
Lagos,
things?
there's a
Imagine that
house.
happening.
We're
There's
doing,
actually a house
bricks
in
and mortar
Lagos.
here. What?
There's actually a
If it
house in
happens
Lagos
Nigeria,
like that.
Hey, our enemies.
So this particular house I'm talking about, in Lagos, I don't want to mention the owner of the house. So the parlor revolves. And it blew my mind. So they used the place for an event. And so you enter from one side, and that happens to be where the main entrance is. And you enter the parlor, and the parlor revolves to take you to the kitchen, to take you to other rooms.
Oh, that's just a hydraulic
Crazy.
system.
Yeah, but it's still mind-blowing.
Okay.
That one is toy compared to what
No,
I'm
the
talking
whole
about.
parlor
Toy.
moving.
No, Mike is talking
What
about
I'm
like a
going here.
building.
No, that one's toy. I can even design that one, sir.
Wow.
That one's
Like,
toy.
all right, then. Yomi is taking the news update.
Yeah, and we begin from Damaturu, Yobe State capital, where 3 explosions rocked the city in the last few hours. These were followed by gunshots, which sent residents running for safety. The blasts occurred the same time suspected members of Boko Haram attacked a village in the state. Intelligence reports indicate the attackers were trying to get to Damaturu Michael Oshoma reports from the state capital.
According to available information from the locals in Sindiri village, which is about 15 kilometers away from the capital city of Yobe State, they say suspected Boko Haram are converging in their community to launch attack in Damaturu, the capital of Yobe State. This evening, we heard sporadic gunshots and explosions which led to pandemonium in the capital city, Damaturu. Children, parents, and loved ones were seen running helter-skelter for safety. As we speak presently, Damaturu is a ghost town of its former self, as everyone is seen indoors to avoid being victims of circumstance. Michael Ushoma, TVC News, Damaturu.
Over in Borno State, suspected so-called Boko Haram insurgents have killed 3 persons and kidnapped 2 others after attacking humanitarian workers in Borno State. The insurgents attacked the workers along a highway while they were traveling from Monguno to Maiduguri. The abducted aid workers are women. Well, Christmas is coming early for the Nigerian bank customer. The central bank has just released a new guide to bank charges that cuts the fee charges charged on most services. Chief among is the reduction in the withdrawal charge attached to transactions on banks' ATM machines from 65 naira to 35 naira. The CBN also removed card maintenance fees on all cards linked to current accounts. Banks will now charge a maximum of 1 naira per mil for customer-induced debit transactions to third parties. And a violation of the guide will cost the erring bank 2 million naira per infraction. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. Stay tuned for the weather.
Welcome back to the kitchen, people. Now we have a very first time chef.
Hello.
Chef Awa. But see, guys, she brought something so beautiful. I love the way she came prepared, to be honest.
Thank you.
This morning we're going to be making Omi's, and I've forgotten everything. It's too hard, don't say it.
Okay.
Let me try. Omi's,
Look at the pan.
Omi's okra,
Okay.
berry delight.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. And you know, she said something really interesting. Welcome to the show.
Thank you
Before I
very
start, she said
much.
something really
Delighted to be
interesting. She likes to make her meals without using seasoning cubes because she believes in using natural spices so you can enjoy the taste. Now tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so do I introduce myself again?
Well, if
My
you
name
want
is Chef Omi, the Turari girl. Don't worry, you've been hearing a lot about that. So I have an incurable fetish for spice and herbs.
Okay.
Like, I just must get on any spice and herbs.
Herbs.
Yeah, I do. So I love to cook and I love to, you know, savor the natural ingredients in my food. I like to eat and then I can tell, oh, okay, there's tomatoes in this. There's berry in it. Oh, what is this sweet thing I'm getting? Other than just, you know, whacking everything together and covering all of the flavors.
Yeah, I get that.
So basically, that's what the spice is all about. Yeah.
Okay, now what are we making today? What are our ingredients for this morning?
So we have okra,
Yeah.
or ladyfingers, as some people like to call it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the brown onions because onions are very important. They're very, very important aromatic. I don't do anything without onions. Then I have my garlic, of course. Yeah. Then sea salt.
Yeah.
Sea salt, yeah. Then prawns.
Okay.
The chili. There's yellow Scotch bonnet. And then green Scotch bonnet. And olive oil.
Olive oil has to be
it's
olive
breakfast.
oil.
Has to be olive oil because
Okay.
it has to be healthy.
Yeah.
Then I have a freshly made, homemade tomato paste by me. Then I have my echo. Then my black pepper corn.
Okay, so the menu for this is available, and for the benefits of those at home who want to try this beautiful delicacy, we're about to start. So the ingredients include dill, garlic, tomatoes, sea salt, olive oil, blueberries, snail and prawns, and yellow Scotch bonnets.
Yeah.
Now this is very English. Okay, so now what do we have here?
It's not English.
No, I mean, like the words.
Oh,
are
okay,
very
okay.
English. So what do we have here?
We have echo.
So we're going to have it with echo.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will cost us approximately how much to prepare?
About 5,000,
5,000.
6,000.
Okay,
yeah.
so this is kind of a bit of a pricey breakfast.
Yeah.
And this can serve approximately how many people?
Like this is to serve 2 to 3 people.
to 3 people.
Because breakfast shouldn't be too much.
Too much, okay. So we're going to use berries, and we have, so interestingly, most times I see the black peppers, I see them in the ground form.
Yeah.
This is interesting, you might want to look at, this is like the fresh black peppers, and it actually gives you the full effect of the spice, yeah?
Yeah.
And then in this, my cute mortar here, we have, tell us about this.
Okay, these are dill seeds.
Dill seeds.
Yeah, they're
Just
dill
leave it here
seeds.
so we can
Okay, see it properly.
Yes.
They're dill seeds. They are spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're similar to fennel. I don't know if you know that. But I like to use them in my seafood. Anything fish, prawns, crabs, snails. I like to use them. I always have them come in handy. So you should try it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think this breakfast is going to be really interesting. I know all the breakfasts are interesting, but you should stick around, get your pen and get your paper, because this is going to be a journey. And remember to drop your comments as we're going along the show with the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. So we're going to start and dig right in, and when we come back, you would see how far we've gone. But Mike has something interesting for us. Let's meet him.
Definitely I do. I was just about to take a look at my Instagram, working on my future influencing. Someday, I will come a big boy. I know Tope, you're an influencer, and you do some things on Instagram, right?
Yes, I am. I am
okay.
a growing influencer.
Definitely. So due to popular demand and some people who probably didn't get it at the first hour, we're taking a look at some of our tech updates which we took earlier on. Now, Instagram is cracking down on influencers' branded posts. I got to check my post now, and the products that they hawk. The company announced last week that although it's always prohibited branded posts that advertise vapes, tobacco, and weapons, it's going to start enforcing those rules more strictly. It will also start putting special restrictions around the promotion of other products like alcohol and diet supplements. Now, in these cases, the company says it will allow creators to restrict who can see their content based on age, an upcoming feature the company mentioned earlier this month when it announced that new users would have to impute their birth dates. Alongside this news, the company also says it's opening up Facebook's brand collabs manager to a select group of Instagram creators, which means creators will be able to share insights and engagement with brands and find potential brand partners that align with their audience. This could be a monumental change to how the influencer system works on Instagram. Now, up until now, many influencers send screenshots of their metrics to partners or gave a third-party app access to their account so that the brands could check the metrics on their own. Now, creators included in this program can source new deals, manage partnerships, and automatically share insights with them, all from within Facebook's own tool. And moving on from that, India, the world's largest democracy, continues to normalize shutting down the internet and, of course, services and suspending mobile communication for tens of millions of citizens in the country to thwart protests. Now, days after Narendra Modi-led government shut down mobile communications in the northeastern states of Assam, Meghalaya, and Tripura, home to more than 36 million people, and then parts of Uttar Pradesh, the most populated state in the country with more than 200 million people, New Delhi moved last Thursday to extend suspension in parts of the Indian capital and city of Mangalore, together home to about 22 million people. On Thursday morning, a trio of top telecom networks, Reliance Jio, Vodafone, and Airtel, began to cut mobile communications in parts of New Delhi. All three carriers said they were following government's direction. By afternoon, the services had been restored, users said, but hours later, the Indian government, which already has the worst track record among any nation for internet shutdowns, issued a similar direction for Mangalore, a major commercial center in the state of Karnataka. The move comes as the Indian government attempts to silence tens of millions of people across the nation as they protest the introduction of a controversial new citizenship law that discriminates against Muslims. And Facebook has always been sore about not owning an operating system and having to depend on the courtesy of some of its biggest rivals. Now, those include Apple, whose CEO, Tim Cook, has repeatedly thrown jabs at Facebook and its chief, Mark Zuckerberg, over privacy and data collection. Now, in a previous hedge against the power of the mobile operating systems, Facebook worked on a secret project codenamed Oxygen, CCAR 2013, that would help it distribute Android apps from outside the Google Play Store if necessary. Vox's Scott Wagner reported. Now, that said, its latest attempt to wrestle more control of mobile away from the OS giants in 2013 went down in flames. The Facebook phone, built with HTC hardware, ran a forked version of Android and the Facebook home user interface, but drowning the experience in friends, photos, and messenger chat bubbles proved wildly unpopular, and both the HTC First and Facebook Home were shelved. Well, this new code Oxygen means that they are working on their own operating system, and in a very short time, we'll probably see one that is run, licensed, and developed by Facebook, which would give them more control over the space, the social media space that they have. So cool one, good one, good one. The powerful are getting even more powerful. That's all on the updates this morning. Our upcoming influencer business, how's it going to be now? Because some of the ads that you can put up now for people, Instagram will probably crack down on them as it is.
Well, I'm sure they'll probably find a way to work with the policies or whatever it is that Instagram is setting.
I'm talking about our own, how are we going to do what? We have to ensure that we check the fine print to ensure that we don't collect money from a client now and then.
And then it goes against
don't deliver.
And I know, right? Because returning the money is more painful. Returning the money back to your clients is more painful.
As in, there's nothing true that has been said today. All right, so let's check out how far you've gone with what you're doing in the kitchen. Okay,
so I'm really excited about this because I feel like I have a job. And this morning, my job is to grind the spice. And as Chef Awa said, this is her. She uses this to enhance the quality of taste in the prawns. So I'm just going to do this with Uberima Fide.
Utmost good faith.
Utmost good faith, yes. Yeah. To make sure that I bring this to life. Please don't think I cannot cook.
You
just
can.
That Awa is making me look like I don't know how to.
You can. You're doing well.
Keep it up. These spices don't want to grind.
Just keep applying pressure.
You didn't tell me it was going to be this much hard work.
Nobody thinks
but
so.
I mean, it's always fun being in the kitchen on Wake Up Nigeria. We always learn new things, and I'm sure you learn new things. I did read a lot of comments last week, so you definitely want to share your comments and your thoughts about this okra berry delight, because I'm sure it's going to be a delight. And you might want to share your photos of when you're making yours, so we'll see if you aced it or you need to try it again. So now that when we're done chopping, what are we going to do next?
We're going to cooking.
We're going to cook it. Yeah. So this will take approximately how many minutes?
15 less.
Oh, so this is like a quick fix breakfast.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Are we boiling anything?
No, we're not boiling.
Oh, so we're just
frying, pan frying on very low heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, another thing is, but in the era where you see different things on the internet saying this can cause a disease, this can cause an ailment, and it's just best to stay as healthy as possible. So I'm totally for using fresh fruits, tomatoes, and most importantly, the choice of oil. Now I feel like I sound like a chef.
You do.
But you know, the fact that she's using olive oil just makes me feel like this is a go-to for breakfast, because you don't want to start off your breakfast, your morning with anything that might just put your tummy in trouble. Yeah. So this is healthy and this is safe. So you know that in the next 10 to 15 years, you're still on a good path for your health. So you might not want to do what I'm doing at home. You might want to get somebody stronger than you to pound this. Okay, but I think I'm making headway.
Looks good. Continue.
Oh,
keep the good work up.
So do I get my certificate of chef duties after this?
You need to do like a series of...
Wow. Wow, chef.
You need to do series of
this.
Yeah.
Okay, so now how do you measure the amount of the spice that is necessary for this? Because you know we don't even know how it tastes. So for people at home now, how do they measure how much of this they need?
The thing about dill seeds is that they're very potent.
Okay.
So, and that's a common thing about different spices. Cumin is a very jealous spice, and so is dill. So it has this overpowering flavor. So first off, you need to understand the spices you're handling. Like, you need to communicate with them. That's why I'm the Terrari girl, you know.
Okay.
So I speak their language.
Okay.
So basically, so you need to understand them, and then when you understand your spices, you know that a little goes a long way. So this now, you may just need a pinch or two for about 5 to 6
Okay.
pounds.
So
If
this
not, it's going to overpower the
power
whole.
Okay, so now for people at home who are considering buying this,
Yeah.
what is the closest taste? What is the closest to what it tastes like? What
Dill,
can you compare it with?
because it's natural,
Yeah.
it's hard to say. I can only compare it to other spices like fennel. Do you understand?
People at home just be like, this chef, you just came to show us.
No. We need to pass the knowledge across to the
Okay.
world. Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
you
doing.
might just want to have to Google female.
Yeah.
Girl, because even me, I can't break it down for you. It just looks like
And then there's
some
the
nice
fresh
tea.
one though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's the fresh deal. It has this grainy, long strand, like very.
But where can we get this?
In malls, go to Spar, go to
We
ShopRite.
could go to malls and we
Malls,
can get
okay,
that.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you can go to the supermarket, you can go to malls, shopping malls,
Yeah.
and you can get these spices. If you want to try the alternative of using just spices and you do not want to use seasoning cubes, you could do
yeah.
that. So now after we're done chopping, we just go straight into frying.
Yeah,
Okay, but what
I want to
the
chop that
onions, you
too.
chop that.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that to you.
that's fine. That's the only thing I'm chopping.
I'm not
but-
going to try that.
Okay.
Okay, so you can see it's been very interesting here and we have a lot of chopping to do. We're going to go on a break and we will be right back.
Now it's time for some SME discussion this morning. You know, usually we bring this to you every Monday. And Dwad Creation is a home of creativity which runs an architectural firm that was established to give room for dimensional creativity. This is our SME discussion this morning. I have the CEO of this organization, Adetutu Olushola, here with me. And there's an older gentleman, distinguished looking this morning also, who is Professor Joseph Igwe, and is going to be throwing in some additions to the discussion that we're having this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
On the program. Usually we talk about SMEs and every Monday. And one of the focus is to find out what goes on in the mind of an entrepreneur, why somebody decides that this is what they want to do and go into it. So you studied architecture, obviously, from the University of Lagos. And what made you feel like you needed to start your own firm instead of, you know, just working in a partnership or working with in an organization that is bigger?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think the journey started doing my internship when I found out that majorly what the Nigerian architecture or what the Nigerian architects produce majorly are usually cubes, cube drawings and all that. And then I'm this kind of person. I want to express myself. I want to put more creativity into my work. I don't believe I did architecture just to come back and do box design. Do you understand? So when I found out that I proposed some drawings and then it's been knocked out as not been real, you know, it just wanted to bring a difference out of me. Like I want to express myself dynamic, and that really made me go study some things. You know, I was even able to lead a team at a very young age to go to Makoko. You know, I went all that way to Makoko. I took a canoe to go and study the architecture and what's happening there and how I can improve their lifestyle.
Now, one of the things that I noted in your name, you added creativity to the name, and I said to myself that this is not typically what you would find in an architectural firm. An architectural firm usually has a heavy name, like, but you added creativity and it gives the impression that there's some art to it. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, it's on purpose. What I would say is Duat Creations is a firm that has been able to create synergy between architecture and lifestyle itself. You know, it's not just a building now. And we've brought in other things that has made lifestyle more interesting.
Very important. I think, so one of the things that from your own space, because this is a different space when it comes to SMEs, you know, as a small business and all of that. Usually when you talk about SMEs, you talk about people that do clothes or shoes, jewelry and different things like that. But this is a completely different space. What's the first thing you think about or that you had to do when you thought about starting your firm?
The first thing that came to my mind was architecture first, the building, you know. I studied building, and one thing, the reason Dual Creation is different from other architecture firms, whereby we're able to put our other harms that is into fashion, or which we went into fashion. You know, we do signature designs for some notable figures in the society, and then we produce clothesline at some very good quantity. In fact, I didn't plan on seeing this, but you know, Dual Creation is going to start having their ready-to-wear in the boutiques.
So it's sort of like what you've done now is that you've created this like a group of companies that produce different things, starting with the architectural designs and all of that. But I'd like to ask the professor one or two questions. Professor Igwe, thank you so much, sir, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Now, you looking at your her mentor, and I'm sure that there were some things that you were looking at that you found that you knew that, okay, this person is going to go very far. What were those things that struck you about her before she started her business?
Okay. First, she has very high creative talent. You know, wants to create something distinct, something unique, something different. And so I see her ideas just beyond architecture. Okay, and then she has this entrepreneurial spirit to do. So I now see that, okay, she needs to be mentored. You know, because mentor now comes in for you to be able to combine all this. And, you know, from the architectural point of view, based on my 40 years experience as an architect, and my also academic experience, I felt that she needed some mentorship. Okay, it's like in sports, you see someone who has talent can run. If he doesn't have a good coach, he may not make it. But a good coach will add a little bit of pep, say, no, do it this way, it will fly. So that's my role, is to mentor her and then also bring in the professionalism aspect of architecture, that must not be lost. Because once you're handling anything architecture, there are regulations and all that, you must also operate within, you know, the prescribed procedures. So I want to make sure that she conforms, when it comes to buildings, the professional requirement of the regulatory body. And when it comes to all other ones, yes, you also need mentoring in the business aspect of it. Because for you to succeed, you have to have talent, okay? You have to know what you're doing. You have to have the technical skill, and you have to also have
understand the business.
Yeah, and also have the social skill. That's where the business side comes in. The social skill means to enable you to know what you want, where you will get it, and how you will get it. So I come in
many different ways.
Yes.
I have a lot of other questions to ask you, but we have to go now because our time is far spent. But thank you so much, Professor Joseph Igwe, for joining us, and also Aditutu Olushola for joining us as well. Now, all the best in Dual Creations. We'll probably be reaching out to you for one or two things as well on a personal level. Anyway, we have to take a break now on the show and be back with more. The third hour of Wake Up Nigeria. It's funny how time flies when you're having a good time.
Yes, indeed. Now, I can't actually believe 2 hours has passed already. It's flying by, just about 45 minutes left, but there's still so much more.
Yeah, but you have no reason to worry. We still have more music and great interviews and much more lined up for you on the show.
Welcome to the third lap of the best show on TV. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyinsong.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. In this festive season, get online and stream live with us at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Send in those comments. We can't wait to see them, see those messages, all those Christmas shout outs, and of course, use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, where you can win loads of great prizes this season.
And if you haven't yet, you can download our app, both on the Android and iOS store. Just search your app store, look for it with TVC Connect, find it, download it, and you can watch us live from anywhere.
Yeah, so we still have our auto segment coming your way. Now, a lot of people haven't really been spring cleaning yet. December is a great time to do that. So for the best ways to clean, polish, and restore the interior and exterior of our vehicles, we'll be joined by Auto Sparkle.
And of course, we're going to have some Monday motivation for you with Abiola Chap Salami talking about bouncing back from failure. How to turn your setback into a comeback.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
You turn your setback into a comeback. I like that. I like that.
How to turn your gbese into gbese.
Wow, nice.
Everybody's getting ready for end of year. First night. Best night. That's all your problems. So I love how sometimes people are creative, especially when it comes to pastors, and some of them wear military. There's this pastor wear military and carry a whole RPG. Say, man, this night we are taking everything down. Wow. We're taking everything down. So yeah, creativity when it comes to that kind of stuff. So but you guys 24th is tomorrow and all of that. Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
You guys going for carol or anything?
Well, I'm definitely attending carol service tomorrow.
Yeah.
Even though I also have, that's I think on the 26th, the service of songs for an older member of church that passed away. Right. He died at 80.
Wonderful!
That's
celebration.
A celebration.
Celebration, and so throughout this week that's going to be happening. But they're taking a break on Christmas Day, and then the rest of the week.
I feel like we should have our own traditions on Wake Up Nigeria. We need to develop some traditions on the show.
We're supposed to have a Christmas lighting thing. I don't know what happened to you guys.
A tree lighting ceremony or something.
Tree lighting.
Yeah.
Tree lighting. There's only one tree now. I want to lie. Let's give it that. It's park now. There's only one tree. We light it fast. It's going around fast.
Oh,
but you know how? So I think it was there's a documentary I saw. So this tree lighting it was gradual. So they planned it not to all come on at the same time. It came on in phases. Yeah. So it was just gradually moving, and then you need to see how the thing was going. It was beautiful. It's beautiful.
But it's also alarming how expensive those lights can be, though, I have to say. I checked out some prices of lights. I was like, you know what? I don't really mind just going with the normal ones.
Yes,
but it's about time for Yomi to take the news update.
Yeah, the news update is starting right now, and we are starting from Damaturu, Yobe State capital, where 3 explosions rocked the city in the last few hours. These were followed by gunshots, which sent residents running for safety. The blasts occurred the same time suspected Boko Haram members attacked a village in the state. Intelligence reports indicate the attackers were trying to get into Damaturu. Michael Oshoma reports now from the state capital.
According to available information from the locals in Sindiri village, which is about 15 kilometers away from the capital city of Yobe State, they say suspected Boko Haram are converging in their community to launch attack in Damaturu, the capital of Yobe State. This evening, we heard sporadic gunshots and explosions, which led to pandemonium in the capital city, Damaturu. Children, parents, and loved ones were seen running helter-skelter for safety. As we speak presently, Damaturu is a ghost town of its former self, as everyone is seen indoors to avoid being victims of circumstance. Michael Ushoma, TVC News, Damaturu.
And suspected Boko Haram insurgents have killed 3 persons and kidnapped 2 others after attacking humanitarian workers in Borno State. The insurgents attacked the workers along a highway while they were traveling from Monguno to Maiduguri. The abductors were 8 workers and they were women. Now, Christmas is coming early for the Nigerian bank customer. The central bank has just released a new guide to bank charges that cuts fees charged by for most services in the banks. Chief among them is the reduction in withdrawal charge attached to transactions on banks' ATM machines from 65 naira to 35 naira. The CBN also removed card maintenance fees on all cards linked to current accounts. Banks will now charge a maximum of 1 naira per mil for customer-induced debit transactions to third parties. Any violation of the guide will cost the erring bank 2 million naira per infraction. And the federal government has rejected the United States' designation of Nigeria as a country that engages in or tolerates severe violations of religious freedom. Information Minister Lai Mohammed said in a statement that the tag stems from an orchestrated narrative that has long been discredited. He says Nigerians enjoy the freedom to practice their religion and that the U.S. was unfortunate to have fallen for the antics of failed politicians. He says the government welcomes constructive criticism and rejects any attempt to sow the seed of mistrust among various religious groups in the country. Well, that's it on the news on Wake Up Nigeria for this morning. Stay tuned for the weather update, and after that, we head to the kitchen with Tope and Chef Hawa.
Welcome back to the kitchen, and now we're done with all our choppings. And also, I whisked this egg, Chef Tope here. Now, something interesting about this egg, Chef Awa made sure to take out the yolk because this are fit farm, it's 100%. So, tell us, why did we take out the yolk?
Well, like you said, fit farm.
Yes.
Yolk has a lot of add-ons to it,
Okay.
and for the kind of dish I'm making, for the flavors, I just need the egg whites. I don't need the yolk. I don't need that extra flavor from the yolk.
Okay, so it's just because of the flavor
The
and
taste,
fit farm.
yeah.
So, but what if someone wants to leave the egg yolk? Does it serve? Does it give it this service?
No, it doesn't give it this service.
Oh,
It's
okay.
good.
So now something happened while you were not here. I was here. After I took all my energy to grind the
Dill seeds.
dill seed.
Dill, D-I-L-L.
Okay, dill seeds.
Yeah.
Now she used it to somewhat marinate
Yeah.
the prawns.
Yeah.
Now you leave that for approximately how long?
3 minutes fine.
3 minutes is fine. Okay,
yeah.
so now what are we going to do first?
So I added we got the black pepper.
Oh yes, she
Yeah.
grounded the black pepper as well.
And then sea salt, just a bit, into the prawns to
Okay.
marinate them. Then we get to cooking now.
Okay, now for those who are just joining us, you know what? You can catch up on all the ingredients that you need to make your okra and
Berry delight.
berry delight. Now the ingredients include dill, garlic, tomatoes, sea salt, olive oil, blueberries, lady fingers, also known as okra,
Yeah.
stale and prawn, yellow Scotch bonnet. Now you could quickly scribble that down and we can get back to what we're doing. So now what we're putting in first?
Olive oil.
Olive oil, remember, healthy alternative. You know what I was thinking, people?
Okay.
You know, this is the the festive period, and a lot of people are back in the country, back in Lagos, back wherever, to be honest. And you might want to show your I just got back cousins, you know, just a little something, something, so they don't start telling you about this restaurant or that fast food and how you feel like you don't belong. So you can tell them, oh, there's something called the okra berry
Delight.
And you know, they'll be wondering,
You always forget to add the omi. It's my creation.
Okay. No, so that they'll feel original. So they'll feel like they have
okay,
something
true,
to
true.
let them
true.
show off. So all those people that want to torture you this Christmas, you need to torture them. You know what? So we're going to start frying, and we're going to go on a break. But you do not want to go anywhere because you need to learn this full procedure. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome to our auto segment this morning. And of course, you know we've been doing a series on car cleaning, interior and exterior. Jesse, of course, is here with me of Auto Sparkle. Great to have you, Jesse. It's always a pleasure having this great man here. So, the last time we did vacuuming, let's just go a very fast recap what we did the last time. Okay. We vacuumed, right?
Yeah, we vacuumed
cleaning
before,
interiors and all of that, taking out sand and some of that stuff. And then we spoke about the frequency, how often people should do it, like how often again?
Okay, so like for the regular vacuuming of floors, to avoid sand from accumulating on the floor, it's recommended to do that on a weekly basis.
Okay,
but
weekly
the
basis.
general detailing, deep cleaning of various parts of the car, we recommend that on a quarterly basis.
Wonderful. Someone said the way a man or a woman treats her car goes a long way to tell who or what kind of person that person is.
Yeah.
All right, great. So today we're going to be looking at interior. We're still looking at interior. We're going to be looking at the dashboard and the seats. Now these are pure leather seats. Now I know we had spoken about it, but now we're going to show you how to clean up leather seats and all of that. Right? We have Sam and Ola who are already at work. Hello, Sam and Ola, great guys here with Jesse, and they are already starting work. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Let's do we go with Ola first?
Yeah,
let's go Ola
let's
first.
just catch how it looks before.
Okay, how it looks before.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So wonderful. Okay, so we've already started. We've already started, and this is Ola. Okay, this is how it looks first of all. So you can see, I can see some dirt here, right? And we're working on the interior, trying to clean this. So. You know, I've seen a lot of cars that we've spoken about this before. People a lot of times bother so much about the exterior. They don't really care about the interior. When you have a car that has a bright interior, mine is dark, but this one is a bright interior. It's very important that you do stuff like this, right?
Yes.
How often should you clean interiors like this?
Okay, so it depends on your level of usage. It's recommended, like I told you, once in a quarter. Like
once in a
3
quarter.
months, yes. Because by the time you begin to work, you drive in and drive out, your hand sweats.
Very true, very true, very true.
The color begins to change and all that. You know,
now you said, we're speaking earlier about the use of water while we're doing this kind of thing and how we can save water. I mean, I use water a lot, so this is something that also applies to me. Let's talk about that, how to use water or how to save water while you're working with your car.
Okay, so basically, generally, for you to get a clean car, especially those who wash in their driveways, in their garage, and those who go to the car washes, they waste about 450 liters of water cleaning a car.
I think I wish to.
You know, and we live in the tropics where there's a lot of dust. You want the car to look perfect, so you keep pouring more water,
blasting water and all of that.
So, but the advantage of our method is, as you can see, there's no drop of water on the floor. We can complete an entire car without the use of water. So, what we discovered is that as of the last quarter of last year, there are close to 12 million cars in Nigeria. Now, imagine if 1/3 of those cars get washed once a week, just once a week. Know that it's more than that.
It's more than that, yes, definitely.
Okay, so we're talking about 4 million cars being washed like once a week, and then they are using up about 1.8 billion liters of water wastage. So the wastage comes the danger comes in two perspectives. One is the fact that we're wasting fresh water. And then on the other hand is the fact that we're releasing polluted water into our drainage system, into the waterways and stuff like that. So we stand the danger of health,
Very true.
And then the danger of scarcity of water in the future. It's something that is of concern now. as part of the Sustainable Development Goals.
The SDGs
yes.
of United Nations. Okay, so let's check out Sam. Sam, while we get you to, let's check out Sam here. Sam is working on the seat itself, right? Okay, so while Sam, just get ready and let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Ola is there working on that one. But yeah, Sam, you can pick up. Now, I love what you said. You can do everything and you don't see a drop of water. And you come in and you do that, and by the time you're done, poof, you're out.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, this is the seat that is the most used seat in the car.
Yes, the driver's seat.
The driver's seat is the most used seat in a car, and it is the seat, of course, that gets dirtiest the most.
Yes.
So this is one that you should really pay attention to, right?
Another thing
wonderful.
with the driver's seat is because you move in and out of it frequently, there's a danger of the seat cracking and folding by the edges because you move in, you go out, if the seats are not properly conditioned after cleaning, we condition after cleaning.
What do you mean by conditioning?
Conditioning is like you're giving some nourishment to the leather material. Okay. So it helps to preserve the nutrients of the leather.
Of the leather.
The leather is so subtle, like it's soft, and then it has some extra qualities that need to be preserved. So they are specially made conditioners for applying on leather to preserve the nature of the leather.
Now, to our viewers out there, yes, you're seeing this or not, what you're seeing here is not DIY. Please be very, I'm serious, because when it comes to leather, especially when it's leather, be very careful.
Yes.
What you see these guys use, there's some things that are mixed inside what they're using, of course, which you can't tell you. But these are not the things that are used, not every day. It's not just soap and water and you just carry it. No, it's not. So it's not a DIY. This is not DIY. This is called Autosparkle do it at your home, right? I can already see some improvements from what Sam is doing here. It's already, there's some stains are already going off. And I like it that we're doing on the driver's side because, like we said, that's the most used car. And then you mentioned about conditioning, keeping the leather, because last is leather, and leather is keen and all of that. So
something interesting about leather is that when you use your regular soap and water to wash it, there are some harsh, you have to consider the pH levels. There are some harsh pH conditions that come with this regular detergent, and then they have an impact on the leather. The leather begins to harden up, and because you are going in and out, because it's hard, it begins to break. You begin to see cracks. And all
yes,
that.
Yes, I do. I've seen that. I have seen that. I have seen that.
And we've come across leather seats as well that have suffered from regular car washes. You begin to see the color parts begin to fade off because they've been over scrubbed with harsh
material.
Materials and detergents.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now,
so preserve that.
Now, like we did the last time, at the end of the show, we'll come back in a short while, show you the finished material. We're still working on this. We're making it happen. We're going to work on this. I'm going to make it happen. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We'll just Jesse, so how do we hit you up? Instagram, of course, once again.
Instagram, My Autosparkle.
Okay.
Yes. Website is also www.myautosparkle.com.
All right. Okay. At the end of the show, we'll get to show you what Sam and Ola done with this car. Of course, Jesse the man. We'll be right back at the end.
Thank you.
This piece is a series of advices from my mother strung together to form a poem. It is called Home. When the morning comes and the light leaves you bare and speechless at your own reflection, you will taste a happy ending turn sour in your mouth with a choice to spit or to swallow. These words came from my mother, like a waterfall to a thirsty brook, an ode to a boy that stayed brewing, whetting his appetite to live, yet quenching the boiling wild within. When the morning comes, your naivety will be a boy, standing in a blizzard with just an umbrella, hoping to rescue my heart from his mistakes. You will forget that you come from a long line of fighters who dreamed of surviving, yet woke up whole, left behind a battleground of uncertainties, rescued generations with nothing but love, taught themselves to dodge shrapnels even before you were born, formed you in the dead of the night on their knees with their mouths to God. There is nothing you could throw we haven't seen coming. By birthright, you are a warrior. The sun danced at your arrival. A whole village called you miracle. I call you Chiedozie. Your name is an answered prayer. A peace treaty between your present and your future. Do not forget the story of your birth. Let it sing purpose on your journey and whisper truth wherever you go. Do not forget where you come from. Recognize your heart when it roars. Know the difference between the hunter and the anger within you will wage war against yourself. Faith is your weapon. Never forget it. Groom your spirit to lead and your will to follow. Love is your lover. Never betray it. Always keep the memories of your first step, how you learned to stand even before you first fell. I hope you dance. I pray you remember the steps that lead back to joy. I hope you find good friends who wait behind like molars waiting for what is hardest to swallow. And if they ever dig cavities in your heart, remember that resentment gets heavier with time. Sometimes forgiveness is the first stone. Don't try to fix a broken person. You may cut yourself with their sharp edges. Study each part of you and keep them close. Be careful who you trust with the smallest pieces, for they are the hardest to find. And when you finally return home, with parts of you you do not recognize, I will save one night and travel through your stories to meet you at a place where you are safe. And when your morning comes and a new beginning forms in your mouth like laughter, you will be sorry you worried the night before.
Welcome back. Now, having directly coached, trained, and counseled many people across many industries, Abiola Champ Salami is a published author and motivational speaker. He's about to give us tips on how to bounce back from failure, which is part of course, our success and motivational talks for this month of December. Thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you for having me.
You know, it's how to bounce back from failure sounds very generic, but people like to hear these things every day because, you know, people are failing every day. People go through ups and downs.
Yeah.
Some people have had a great year, some others haven't. Now, for this year, maybe we'll start with the area of business. The stock market has been down historically, you know. Also, you have the border closure has affected some businesses. People who maybe they're relying on importation through the land borders. So many things have happened to certain people in the area of business this year that has been a big setback for them. How do you bounce back from failure?
One of the things we easily do around here, we say that your confession leads to your profession or possession, whatever word that we'll call it. And that is in many ways trying to cover up failure. And so the first thing is to be honest with our failures, you know, to accept it and know that, yes, I have failed. And that is the beginning of this. So whether it's in business, whether it's in your career, somebody has lost his job or hard job, whether it's even in a relationship as well, somebody had a failed marriage, failed relationship, or failed relationships within the family, father, mother, between siblings. The first thing is to accept that failure. I agree that I have failed in this thing. Now,
so acceptance is the first
acceptance is very important. Because when we are not honest with our failures, we can't even seek ways to grow and improve it. If we keep saying it is well or it will be well, I have failed. But then as much as we are saying accept that you have failed, don't beat yourself down too much as well. Because that could even lead you to a state where you think, where you can't separate the failure from your person. That I have failed doesn't mean I'm a failure. So the first thing is I accept that, yes, I have failed. In this instance in business because of the government policy or because even of some things I probably did wrong in the course of the year. So I have failed. Second thing is I don't beat myself down too much. I know it is the event that failed. I'm not the one that failed as a person. And so when I don't see myself to have failed as a person, I can still dream more. I can still be open to see what my errors were and correct them. And I can now bounce back in the new year to start with a new note.
So let's talk about bouncing back because I think that's what a lot of people are also thinking about. That okay, some people say I'm below the bottom of the barrel. Or, you know, some other people say, look, I'm starting from scratch. Other people say I've fallen and I can't get up. What are the steps? What do I then do if I'm thinking about making a comeback from this particular setback that I faced?
The feeling of failure itself robs us of that positive energy to want to push ahead. And so one of the things I personally do, and what I've also shared with some of the people I've coached over time that has worked, is, yes, I have a big failure now, but what was the last time I recorded success, not necessarily saying it was last year or 2 years ago, remembering the situation where I succeeded and reminding myself of that feeling that I experienced because of the success, and now saying to myself that I want to relive this experience again. Because when we fail at anything, especially when it's a big thing, when it's a defining moment, we lose energy, we lose zest. At times we even lose our self-esteem, and we lose that urge to pursue, to move ahead and forge ahead with something great. So the first thing to bouncing back is remember your past success. And when you remember your past success, it fills you with strength to move on. Another thing to that is gratitude. No matter how bad that thing is this year, there's still one thing to be grateful for. And when you are grateful, you also bring some positive energy into yourself that will start to make your mind to think positively, and you can look at what to do in the new year. Failure is a reality, and by the way, failure is not bad in itself. Failure is good because there are times it's good for us to fail. It gives us a check. When you keep succeeding on and on again, you can find yourself, you can think that you are just the best person in the world. You can just have that pride, and not good pride, you can just have that arrogance as if anything that you touch, you have the Midas touch automatically. And it robs us of the opportunity to learn as well. So when we fail, it is good that we take a chill pill, but we don't allow that failure to hold us back from forging ahead in achieving greater things.
Now, you're talking about, most of what I'm getting from you now is to the individual. Let's talk to the collective. A situation where someone is a leader, maybe in a company, an organization or an association, whatever it is, and everybody knows that we're going through a tough time, or 2019 we failed in some areas. How does a leader lead his organization out of that situation and then focus on the new year and the future?
Fantastic. From the organizational perspective, this is performance management. And so how should the leader move on? The first is to do an appraisal of where we are as an organization. So where you are as an organization, what are the things that accounted for the failure? Is it just government policy? Are there competence issues, which is you don't have the right person that can do the work? And so in competence, you look at the composition of your team. Do they have the right knowledge, the right skills, and the right attitude in order to achieve the goal that you set for 2019? Now, if they couldn't achieve the goal for 2019, why didn't they achieve the goal? Why did they fail? And then now moving into the new year, what are the learning points such that you don't record the same thing in the new year? And as much as we're talking about this from the organizational point of view, it's also equally important that we know that employees are first people before they become employees. So it's important to touch base on an individual level first and then now collectively move on. But again, we cannot overemphasize the fact that if your team is failing, you're not meeting your target set for the year, what are the issues? Is it a performance issue again? The composition of your team, are they competent enough to do this job? Some people have a target to sell X number of products in a year, and then they just get every kind of person in. At times, because people can talk, just get them in, and you think automatically they can sell. That somebody is competent enough to talk doesn't mean the person is competent enough to communicate, doesn't mean the person is competent enough to sell. So what you want to do is to get competent people who will do this job so that you can achieve your goal for the year. Now, it's okay that you did not achieve it in 2019, but it said that the last best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. So you didn't achieve it in 2019. In 2020, you want to focus on the competence of the composition of your team members so that you can exceed your goal.
Wow. Thank you so much for talking to us about focusing on these various things. I want you to just talk to someone out there, getting to the end of the year now. Just one word for them that will make them feel like, yeah, okay, I think I can get up and try again.
So, the truth is, we've come to the end of the year. Today is the 23rd. We have 8 more days to go this year. The truth also is that many great things can still happen to you even within the next 8 days. If you think about your failure too much, you may not succeed. If you consider the areas of failure and take the lessons, yes, you will succeed. But in all of this, don't let anybody make you feel inferior, because inside of you lies the power to rock your world like a champion.
Abiola Chamsalami, thank you so much for giving us that motivation that we needed for the rest of this year. I tell you, And for your reward,
Okay.
I'm going to be taking you to the kitchen. Where we're going to be joining the rest of the team to tell us what they've done for us this morning.
Great.
All right.
Okay, Yomi. Yomi is very rushing very fast to get to the kitchen. Now you've forgotten you need to come here first. All right. So Jesse is here and we are done. You can see that place now. We're done with all the chairs, but that chair, the back chair there, we conditioned it too, right? So even though we're still in the process of conditioning, by the time we're done with conditioning, it will shine. But hey, look at it. The leather, there's already a difference here. I can already see it. There's a difference with the leather there. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful. And we also have the door panel. We'll also show you the door panel. This is being conditioned. The leather is wonderful there. But we'll also show you the door panel. We spoke about this one, and like we said, the frequency of this one should be like how often?
Once in 3 months.
Once in 3 months. Once in 3 months. So that's not too much. Yeah, that's not too much. Okay. So while we get back to the door panel now, and yeah, we can see the door panel there. The door panel is looking lovely, man. Great job there, Ola. Great job there. Great job there. So that has been conditioned, Ola. Has it been conditioned? No? Has it been conditioned? Okay, still working on the conditioning, but there's a very marked difference. I can see it's different. It's shining, man. It's shining. I know I spoke to Yomi about it, but Yomi now will be thinking of his car now, and this should be done on his car. But Jesse, thank you. Great work. Great work. Like we said, this is not DIY. This is not something you can do. Don't use harsh materials. Who now use petrol or fuel?
I heard some formulas and I was like, really?
You don't do that. You don't. This is not DIY. If you have any issue with that, hit up Auto Sparkle Instagram.
My Auto Sparkle.
And My Auto Sparkle, of course, on Instagram. They'll send them a DM. They'll come and get this kind of stuff to you. All right. So Jesse, thank you. Great one.
Thank you.
We're still going to be on this series. Next time we're going to be talking about car engines, and that's one you'd want to really be a part of. All right. Let's head back to the kitchen. Yomi, I think you definitely need this for your car.
Welcome back to the kitchen. We're beginning to round off the show, but Chef Hawa here has done something really special.
She's been hanging out with Tope.
Yes, she has. She's going to give
having
us
fun.
quickly run through how to make this for you, our viewers at home.
Okay, so I had my pan on fire, olive oil, onions, garlic, chili, my prawns, my tomatoes, beef tomatoes. You can use any tomatoes you like at home. Then I had my okra mixed. Then my egg white. Just egg white, no egg yolks. Then I finished it with salt and black pepper. And I'm serving it with echo.
Have a taste.
Serving with echo, very nice. So is this is a breakfast meal?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Have a taste and tell us what you think, please. It's an interesting combination, right?
Yeah. Interesting combo.
Yeah. So okay, so okra and shrimps, I connect, right? I'm not sure if I connect with the blackberries.
The
Blueberries. Sorry,
yeah.
Blueberries.
Yeah.
I've never had blueberries on
okra.
Okra before. Where did that come from? Is that yours?
Yeah,
That's
entirely.
you designed
Oh,
that.
means,
Yeah.
oh, that's why I said
It means
oh, means
breakfast.
I mean, all right then. Now, from the looks on their faces, you can see that they're having a good time.
They look like they are.
Echo is something. It's actually quite healthy as well.
Yeah.
Really well made. We need to say a big thank you to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories.
Yes, indeed. And a big thank you to all our guests for joining us today,
Yeah.
motivating us and also inspiring us as well. Well done, guys. And
Don't
well
forget-
done, Chef.
Thank you very much.
Don't forget there are giveaways happening on our social media pages. Please use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. There's a barcode you can scan on the screen throughout some of the TVC shows. So you need to win some of those goodies, people. We have to wrap it up then.
We're seeing you tomorrow.
From 6 a.m.
Bye-bye.
Bye.